Ngọc Khuê.
Oh, you're from Khuê?
Yes, I'm Khuê. My name is Khuê.
Oh, your name is Khuê.
My name is Khuê. K-H-E-E.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm a student at the Academy of Finance. Because I come from one big city. And what's your name, please?
My name is Casey.
Casey?
I'm from the United States.
United States? It's very famous for State of Liberty.
I guess so, yeah.
So your name is
Casey?
Casey, it's spelled C-A-S-E-Y, but it's pronounced
C-A-S-E-Y.
like the letter K and then the letter C.
Yeah. And so what's your job now?
What
job?
My
What's your
job? Well, I quit so that I could go traveling. But for the last couple of years, I've been working building boats.
Oh, yes.
And that's actually, I've tried to do that a little bit here in Vietnam and in Cambodia as well. Because we don't build very many wooden boats in the United States anymore. They're mostly built out of fiberglass or steel.
Yes.
And so it's been interesting to come here because you guys still build boats out of wood.
Yes. So how long have you been here in Hanoi?
I don't know. Definitely a couple days, probably about a week.
A week?
Yeah, getting close to that.
So how long have you been in Vietnam?
Probably about 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
And in Hanoi is a week.
Yeah.
So what places have you visited in Vietnam?
Well, so far, I cut across from Cambodia and I went to Hoi An.
Hoi An.
And I stayed there for about a week. And then I went up to Vinh. And then there's a city.
Sorry? Hoi An.
Vinh.
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 Yeah, Vinh.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a little town outside of Vinh called Cuu Lao, which is not a very, it's definitely not that many Westerners go there. But there, I had found a guy that I had been talking to on the internet who told me about a boat yard there that he thought I might be able to work at. So I stayed in Cuu Lao for about a week working at this boat yard. And I had been hoping to stay there longer, but eventually the police came and told me that I wasn't allowed to work there. So then I had to leave, and so then I came up to Hanoi, and I didn't really have any plans. I wasn't hoping to be here for a while. My girlfriend will be flying into Hanoi.
My girlfriend is going to Hanoi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I was going to meet her here anyways. She'll actually be here tomorrow, and so I wasn't planning on getting to Hanoi until probably about now. But because I had to leave Cuu Lao, I ended up here about a week ago. And so I didn't really have any plans, so I've just kind of been hanging out a lot, coming to the park a lot and reading, which means that a lot of people come up and ask me to speak English. So not the first time I've done this. But.
Also, how do you feel about the weather in Hanoi?
It's fine. It's been a little warm.
So do you feel Hanoi is hot?
Yeah. I mean, but it's it's hot where I come from in the summer as well. So it's hard to compare because in the United States we do everything in Fahrenheit, the temperature, and so I don't really understand Celsius temperatures. So it doesn't mean anything to me when if somebody says it's 30 degrees.
30 degrees?
Maybe in my head I think that's very cold. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So 30 degrees is, in my mind, pretty cold. That's below freezing. It's below 0 Celsius. So I just don't understand the temperatures. But yeah, it's been pretty hot. It's nice when it's cloudy. I like to come here to the park because we have, the trees. So there's more shade and more green space. Because a lot of the rest of the city, there's not a lot of green space. So I think it's a little cooler here.
And what is the first impression in Vietnam?
I don't know about first. It's hard to say now because I've been here for so long. I guess like my very first impression
United States.
was when I was trying to get from the border to Hoi An. everybody who was trying, like I was trying to catch all these buses, and everybody kept charging me way more money than the bus actually was. So my first impression wasn't necessarily a good one. It was a bunch of people trying to rip me off. So I didn't like that. But I'm, starting to get a little more used to it, and able to know what the correct prices are and find the correct way to get the correct price for the buses and things. But it's been fun. It's definitely a lot different than the other Southeast Asian countries. It's a lot more developed. There's a lot more money, which has good and bad things. It's a complicated society, just like anywhere.
Okay. Okay. So can I ask you a question about your personal hobbies?
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. Do you like sport?
Yeah. Everybody is really into football everywhere, and I don't really care about it at all.
Do you like football?
No.
No.
I don't care. But I follow basketball, the NBA.
NBA?
Yeah.
Yes, I like
America.
America.
Yeah, I follow that a lot.
My favorite team is Lakers. Do you know
Lakers. I'm from Chicago, and so my favorite team is the Chicago Bulls. I don't always like the Lakers. I'm not a huge fan of like Kobe Bryant. But I do think that they'll have a fun team this year. They've got some new players. They got Jeremy Lin, the Asian guy, so that'll be exciting. And there's a guy from the Bulls who's been on the Bulls the last couple of years, Carlos Boozer, who will be playing on the Lakers this year. So, anyways, it'll be interesting because they have very low expectations this year, so it'll be fun to see them play.
In your opinion, you want to ask you one question?
Yeah.
Yes, about in your opinion, should a good neighbor be?
A good neighbor.
Good neighbor, really next door.
Yeah.
For example, kind, friendly.
Yeah. No, I definitely. When it's been a while since I've lived in one place, and definitely traveling has really made me want to be in one place again, because there's been a lot of times when I'm always sharing my room with other people. I stay in hostels a lot, and I always have to go out and have other people cook for me and things. So I miss being in one place and having neighbors. But I think that I don't know if you're looking for like one word or something. I don't know if I have that. One of the first things that came to mind is like this old saying that I don't really agree with about how good fences make good neighbors, but I don't necessarily agree with. I think that being friendly, being open, being willing to help. I definitely with the neighbors that I'm closest with, some of the families that I grew up nearby, we would have each other over for dinner fairly often. Occasionally, if somebody needed to watch somebody else's kids or do somebody a favor, they were always willing to do that. There's stories, or I guess again culturally, there's things that we have about going over to a neighbor's house when you need something for cooking, like a neighbor can lend you a little bit of sugar or something if you're in the middle of something and you run out. You can just walk next door instead of going down to a store, and hopefully your neighbor shouldn't mind minor inconveniences to yourself to help out your neighbor. But I think the best way to have good neighbors is to be a good neighbor.